All right, I think it's good. I think it's good. Let's begin. There we go. Happy Monday. It has been extremely stormy here. Oh my. Yesterday we were hit by a number 10 typhoon, and that just pretty much knocked out the internet. Every 10 minutes the internet was going down. Same thing actually this morning. This morning the after effects were still hitting us quite hard, so hopefully we won't have any problems with our current stream, but if we do have problems, then we'll just have to try tomorrow. Either way, I've been working on a lot of the code, trying to figure things. I think I might have figured some stuff out, particularly in regards to the enum fields. So one of the big things that I've been trying to figure out is why does this keep crashing? Well, one of the online, when I was going through, they said that it was a problem with the .save function. Once you have a document and you do update like this, and then you pick field equals whatever it is, new field data like that, it actually works. So I'm actually able to just update the enum fields using the update function. But I kind of want to keep using the save function. I still want to do this .save. And I found out actually that it might have to do with this modify function right here. I just put it into my into here, but pretty much if you go in, you can see that what it does is it goes through the data, it marks down what needs to be modified, what needs to be changed, and it updates a field called change fields. And investigating that, I found that it has something to do with how the enums work. So if you have a particular enum, and then you type in like Game Boy, this, okay, I will need to put it in, but this right here, when you save it in the document, it actually doesn't get saved as the string. What ends up happening is it will actually save it as gamesenum.gameboy. What this means is that it ends up saying this is the, this is what ends up being what it's searching for when it comes to updating the database, when in actuality it should be this. So now that I figured that out, I'm very close. I feel that if I can figure out how to update change field, particularly how it tracks the modifications, then we can solve this major issue, and then we'll start putting enum everywhere. Hey Adasha, how's it going? Oh, okay. Jotao, Jotao. Jotao means good night in Cantonese. Have a good one. But yeah, I'm getting so close. I am getting very, very close. I think we'll be able to solve this issue hopefully soon. But for now, what we're going to be working on is our scraper. If you recall, we were trying to build a scraping system. Let's see here. Where is our... There it is. Scrapers. Scrapers, tools, selenium, and there it is. Hack search scraper. This one. So this is what we were busy having fun messing with. I think I don't I need to act? Yeah, I do. Okay. Let's go ahead and initialize our database first, so that it will be saving in the proper location. There we go. Let's go ahead and load this up and then proceed to start with the saving. So I've been thinking quite a bit about how to get this done, what I want to do with it. And I feel like what I should actually do, instead of trying to save everything into its own individual, into a single file, is I should actually just save each individual search engine code as its own separate document. Reason being is then it actually allows me to search it more efficiently. I'm all about the searching, especially querying a database. So let's go ahead and run the code a bit. So we're here. I currently set it up to go to mute. Let's see. This is search by default list. Why don't we go ahead and just run down through the loop? Search term will be equal to our first search term. There we go. Let's go ahead and run on through. There we go. Let's let this run. I do need to start. One thing that I have been kind of neglecting is I have been neglecting putting in logger information. So what I should probably start doing is I should probably start filling in logger information. That way we can at least keep track of what is going on. Oh, this... It extracted the first page. Nice. Okay. There we go. So where is our... Here it is. That's not good. Where is our list of data? This is actually one of the things I was worried about. Did it change anything particular about how we're doing things? Let's see here. LC201B. It did. This class. It changed. That's exactly what I was worried about. So this is their anti-scraping practices right there in full swing. No, wait. There it is, right there. Okay, then. So V9TJOD. So they didn't change their stuff around. But why did it not find any of the search? Maybe it could be this one. VuXsurf. Okay, then VuXsurf. This is the name. It should be the link up here. Nope, there it is, VuXsurf. Okay, did I just do something silly like forget to save it into the list? Search dict. Yeah, I did. Alright, we found the problem. I forgot to... No, wait, here it is right here. We append it. So no, that should be correct. I wonder why it didn't extract. Let's see here. There are the elements. Let's see. Oh, here. What about this path? Okay, why did it skip it then? Something... There's a bug in here somewhere. Let's see, what is our bug? This is our bug right here. Okay then, I think I found our bug. Because I was trying to set a break loop here. We'll go ahead and do that. We can try and fix that in a sec. Let's see if we can extract out our data. Oh, page source. Oh yeah. All right, let's let that go. Yep, there we go. It's working now. It's quite quick. Yeah, I have a feeling we might get hit. I digress. Let's let that run, and while we are letting it run, what we should next do is figure out the next step. So originally what I was doing was I was saving it as like this. We're just going to dump all of the data we're going to then save it as its own individual file. But as I said, part of me wants to separate it out into its own separate. Each search should be its own individual document, with it holding its own and different information. Curious. Let's continue letting the... Actually, you know what? Let me do something real quick. If you remember, I had commented earlier about IP addresses. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, yeah. So I remembered the website's name. I can show you it. Oh my, why is that open? Oh wait, that's what, because we're watching it. Ignore me. Ignore me. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Where are you? Brave. Mini Boxy, no. Krita, no. Where are you? Okay, where are you, my friend? Here it is, Brave. Okay. Now then. There's a website here. So this is what I wanted to show you. There's a website called myip.ms. It will show you what your actual IP address is if you just go straight proper. So if you're going to ever stream on this, be careful about that. But the main point is you can type in any website, any of interest, and it will provide you all of the credential information about that website. As you can see here, this is the Google information. So if you wanted to find out details about who owns, like who the service provider is, are there any particular detailed information that you might be interested in, you can look it up here on the IP address. And look, it provides lots of details. Like ASN numbers, like you name it, and it can provide it. And this is important because if I find a particular website, let's go with, what website should we go with? Netflix. If I decide that I want to see if Netflix is hosting ROMs. Yes, I'm a human. There we go. Then I can start going in and start seeing all of the information about it. For instance, Netflix.com its IP location is in Dublin. It is, or you can see that it's in Amazon. So it's using Amazon Web Services. the NOD system too. Interesting. American company, hosted in Ireland. I have a feeling this company is trying to save by not paying taxes in the US. Because why else would you set your IP location outside of the US if you're an American company? But nonetheless. And then you can go down and see different information like the organization, registration dates, where they register. You get the idea. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because we're going to be looking at websites. So why don't we hop over to here and just grab one. Let's see. We are currently at 9. And we broke. All right. I have a feeling something's going on because it stopped at 9 last time as well, even though I set the limit to 15. Yeah, final page is 15, so we're going to have to log our search engines, our searches. But I digress. Let's go into here. Let's check out our list. We'll call this B. There we go. Oh. There it is. Here's our data frame. So let's see here. We have Reddit, DualShockers, PokeHarbor, Games Rant, The Gamer, HShop, Facebook, Vim's Lair, The Fandom, Meister FPGA, X. Yeah, the problem is what we're doing right now could actually be correlate with eventual docking, and I don't want to dock anyone. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is, you know, mess with people who are just trying to mind their own business. So is there any particular website that we of a company that we don't like? Maybe X? Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who like X. Let's try and let's go ahead and see here. Can I copy that? I don't think so. We'll find out. Yep. All right, we'll just type in x.com. So the X is using Cloudflare, all right. Based in San Francisco, got it. Cloudflare was established in 2015, okay. Why is X hiding behind a separate service? You would think that they would have their own DDoS protection. Come on, X. You're owned by one of the richest people in the world. You'd think he would be willing to spare a couple pennies to build his own Cloudflare-like system. Is he that much of a penny pincher? Anyway. I think that's... Actually, I'm trying to use this as a way of validating websites. For instance, if they are hosted by a couple companies that we might be afraid of, you know, this is a very dubious website, so therefore they're using very dubious registration information. This way I could kind of get around having to physically load the website up and potentially have JavaScript start a virus or something. But I don't know if this will work, because thinking about it, if X is using Cloudflare, and we know for a fact that Romhacking is using Cloudflare, why don't we pick one more other website? How about we pick this one right here, ndmc.gov.in. What is this? The New Delhi Municipal Council. Why is that hosting ROM hacks? All right, let's go. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and copy this URL. Ah, I see. I think I'm going to have to... I think I'm going to have to change that up. Okay, let's see here. What about this website? There we go. Okay, so this is the New Delhi Municipal Council. Is based in India. Right near Nepal, too. It's a program data center. That's what the provider is. Program data center. Yeah, I have a strong feeling I will not be able to use this as a way to vet websites. Because this is a government website. Why is a government website Why is a government website have the best online... Intriguing. Interesting. Either way. No, we can't use that. Alright, we can't use it. Yeah, I managed to get that set up, and now... Okay then. I'm gonna have to change it up a wee bit. I did not expect that I would have to interact more with this. Okay, we'll keep this open so that I can at least, if somebody shows up who shouldn't be here, I can then yeet them out. Weird. Anyway. Actually, let's do a quick look at our database again one more time. Did it repeat itself once we got close to the end? Stack Exchange? I don't think it did. I think we just ran out of Poke Harbor. Yeah, I think we just ran out, or we made it all the way through the list. Interesting. Either way, we have a list of data now, right here, as we can see. It's quite a nice list of data. Okay, yeah, alright, fine. Well, that's what we're going to do. We'll continue doing it the way I originally was doing it. And we'll just parse things out and once we get into the verification step. So why don't we go ahead and do that. This code right here, as I mentioned, the whole idea behind this code was to make sure that we're not looping over the same page over and over again. But we'll have to fix that. But for now, let's see, where is our... Here's our current this is our set URL. This is our current URL. Let's log that. Logger that, debug. So, extracting current Google search. And we'll call this the URL. There we go. There, so now at least we can keep track of that. Okay, I think that's good. Self is equal to, there we go, we'll quit the session. We'll rerun this. There we go. Now what we'll do is we will go here. We'll then run this. There we go. And then that should theoretically start working. We should start getting log information eventually. Anytime now. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Okay, we are now extracting. Nice. Perfect. Let's go ahead and extract all these out. We'll save them, and then from there what we can do is start writing up verification code. The idea will be to... Maybe we can get away with using the request function? That is a good question. What to do? What to do? I do not know. That... Hey, ad break ended. Welcome back, chat. Right now we are logging our extractions. I'm also having fun taking a peek. Oh, here we go. There was an interesting... What is that? Troubleshooting. There was an element error. All right. Oh, and here... I have a strange suspicion that we are in fact going to the next few pages, but the reason why the number is off is because of the fact that the search engine just kind of sucks. Why is Bible showing up? Oh, we are in the next set. Nice. Okay then. All right, I guess let's let that run. And then another error. That means we're now searching a new document. Yeah. Now we're searching a new set of data. Okay. I guess while we're waiting, why don't we... I mentioned it earlier. Since we're done waiting, or while we're waiting for that to finish, why don't we actually try and work on our problem here? So let's see here. It has enum field. I need to update modify. Particularly, it comes down to when it does the update for the changed fields. Since I have where is it? Where are you? To Python, to Mongo, validate. I don't actually have it. There is no update function here. But we do have a modify function. So yeah, the idea is that I need to... I need to learn more about how Mongo engine stores all its data. Like, how does it store what's being saved, and how does it store what is being displayed? It feels like there are two completely separate, two different instances that are being conjoined at the hip. One that's for Mongo, or PyMongo, or MongoDB. The other, which is for Python. Let's see. If the PK is none, then the document does not have a primary key. Okay then. So in other words, this is for the primary key. The ID field, we're going to pull those out. We're going to then copy a query. If the instance is a dictionary, else just run the query. If ID field is not in query, then we'll query the ID field equals PK. Else query ID. What is... Okay then, I see what we're doing here. Kind of. Then from here we'll run update. On the object keys. Then from here they'll do the updating, then we'll change, and then here they'll put it in change fields. So if I want to make any changes, clear changed fields right here. So yeah, it really boils down to how we're storing changed fields. Man, I feel like I'm going to have to go to the very beginning. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to go to the very beginning and just start trying to figure out everything here. What is going on? All right, why don't we go ahead and start doing a bit of tests while we're letting that run. We can set up another instance. It's not going to hurt. There we go. And since we're just doing basic tests, we don't need to initialize any particular database. What we'll want to do is that. We'll go ahead and set A equal to the historydoc.test. Let's see here. This is the one we're working on. Test. And then from here, we are going to input in a games num. And this will be Game Boy. AA, like that. So when we do a.test, you can see that's what is input in. But then when we save it, a.save. Now, change field is empty. We have the data saved. So let's modify it. a.test. Now we're going to put in, we'll put in Game Boy Advanced. Now this is where the problem lies, because if you look, it's test.gamesConsoleEnom.GameBoy. That right there is what's causing the entire issue. So how do I prevent the code from doing that? Because if you look, here I have another one called Testy. If we go ahead and modify that one, so let's go ahead and go a.testy, and then we'll put in pi. And then here will be A, B, like that. Then when we go to changed fields, you can see that there's test. But then here it's just test.py. There is no enum, there's no console enum present. So this is what's causing our error. This is why we keep getting the dictionary type is none, because that is added in when it shouldn't be. So when we make an edit like it definitely should be the modify function then, which is what I'm thinking of. Oh my, okay, why did it crash? Let's see, what does it say? No update would remove data. Okay. Did I just put something where I shouldn't have? Oh, wait, I know what it is. Oh, balls, I know what it is. Okay. It's because of the base service, isn't it? Actually, no, this is just in the enum field. So that should have nothing to do with this. All right. No update parameters would remove data. No update parameters would remove data. All right. So there's our files that we're going to save. We can see they're the web documents. And it throws an error. Okay, why is it throwing an error is a good question. Let's see here. Let's refresh. It's not a default. Actually, where is our Google connection? I guess it didn't save yet. Okay. Let's look a bit. So why is it throwing an error, I wonder? Why is it always throwing an error, I wonder? Update no parameters, no data to remove. Filter query update 1. Let's see here. Base service. Base service. It's because I put the it's because I have this update right here. Okay then. Okay, why don't we go ahead and let's see here. Why don't we just go for doc in self.toSave. This should be, we should put this down as the values. Doc.switch. Database name. And then here we'll do doc.save. There we go. And Google Scraper, Search Scraper has no database. All right. We know what the database name is. Why don't we go ahead and it is company.google.code. There we go. Okay. So that should be all of our data saved. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so here's our search engine right here. There's our 5 searches. There's all of our data that we've sorted out. Okay, and so far so good. Now, yeah, I was busy. I know of a way to solve this issue, as I mentioned. Why don't we do this real quick? Let's hop over here. A dot changed fields. So this will give us the... Let's see here. I have test, and then I have test 2. What is it? Why is it test 2? Oh, I see. It's because that's what... There is a second... There is a second hidden data structure that I'm not familiar with. Okay then, so... Test 2 is the name of the other field. So we know what fields we have to mess with right here. Why does this seem so weird? Yeah, this seems very strange. I know of a hacky way to do it. Okay, let's put so. I can think of a hacky way to do it. So we're here. What we can do is we have our doc. Let's see. I don't know if I should just run it to try every single time. Here's a test. Let's do this. B equals. We'll call this history doc. Our ID will be test 2. Oh, I think that's good. Now B dot changed fields, and it does not have the changed fields section. So history doc has no object called changed fields. Did you mean get changed fields? Oh, I did not know that there was a get function. All right then, we should definitely do that. So why don't we go ahead and call that. So if we can do this, we'll call this doc, and we'll call this changed fields. So if we can get the changed fields, then what we need to do is we need to run update. Like so. And what we'll do is run another for loop. For field in changed fields, we'll update field with the... Shouldn't we just be doc dot or doc dot should be something like that. Let's see here. If I type in B and I do that, and we're looking for test, can I get the... Yeah, I can. And then this will be testy, which works. And then test 2, should it be easier? Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. So that should be... We need to get the actual names, the Python names. Oh, where are you? Object keys? Nope, not object keys. Not the DB. As much as the DB would be nice, that's not what we need. Not to... Oh, to dict? No, not to dict. Where are you, my friend? We're looking for the codes. not collection. Oh, from JSON. Oh, can I do that? Or there should be 2 JSON actually. There, 2 JSON. And no, that's still not it. Hey, Ansel, how's it going? We are trying to correct some of the errors. I found out a workaround for my enum problem, so we're busy trying to solve that. This is kind of a JRig version of solving this issue while we figure out the more appropriate way to solve it. DB field map. There it is. Found it. DB field map. Okay then. So what I want to do now is find the fields that are modified. We can put this outside of our map. We can put that right there. There we go. And we'll call this the reverse field. Let's see, v.k for v kv in this dot items. There we go. And then from here, we can then run that. We'll run that. I wonder why that's throwing an error. We expected... Oh, well, I see. There it is right there. I forgot that in the bracket. Okay. And in this case, it will be reverse field dot get with our field name. There we go. Okay. So if we run it like this, and this says field, but that's not what we... Oh yeah, this needs to be dynamic. How do I set this variable to be dynamic? I know how we set this variable to be dynamic. We'll make another dictionary like that. Then from here we can then do, there we go, like that. Perfect. Okay. So now what's going to happen is it will run through and it will update all of the fields that need to be updated. If you remember, if we go to a.changed fields, this will be the provided list. I probably will have to update that a bit. Let's go ahead and do that because it's kind of showing us the full path when really that's not what we need. What we want is just the first one. So if we can find changed fields, then what we'll do is we'll go through that. Let's change changed fields to be, and we'll pick the first element. And this will simply be k.split, and we'll split it by period. There we go. Okay. That way we can get the first, we can get the field that's being changed. So hopefully this will solve our problem. So let's try it and see. Let's see here, doc name, our doc list. Okay, I think I saved it already. And, oh yeah. Okay, so what we should do here is we have A with its changes. Let's put that in the doc list. There we go. Let's see here. Self dot. Let's run base service. There we go. Oh. All right, database name. This should be the. This should be our company, or. We'll just put default for now. There we go, default. Okay then. Now let's go ahead and run that. Test 2, or could not resolve field test 2. Mongo engine inquiry. Alright, so why could that not be resolved? If I recall... Oh, wait. How much you bet the field needs to be also the reverse field? This needs to be the same. That is a very strange way to do an update. Let's go ahead and run this. None type reversed again. But we're updating. Oh, why is it... I don't get you. Why? Oh, I think I might know why. I think I might know why. There. Because the save document, where the save is supposed to be in the else. There we go. Okay, so let's go to our check. So this should be in default. Our history. Here's our test. Let's refresh. So there it is. Test is Game Boy. Game Boy Advance. Okay, let's go ahead and now update A. Let's say for test, we want to now add in something new. We'll call it, let's see, a game console enum. It can be for the Genesis. And we'll simply we'll call this C, like that. Now that we have done that, our doc list is going to equal A. Now let's run this. And okay. Now did it update? Where's the refresh? Here it is, refresh. And there we go. Okay. So it is working now. We have set up our enum correctly. Now why don't we do a quick, why don't we get that value? So let's see here, self.getCache. We'll go ahead and do that. Oh. There's no cache. All right. Well, we need to find the cache then first. Find cache. None type object has no attribute get collection. All right. Why don't we go ahead and reset all this? There we go. Oh, nope. Let's set up our environment first. There we go. Let's then set up our base document. There. Then self is equal to that. Let's see here. Self.getCache, and we don't see it. So self. Here it is, find cache. I wonder why we're getting an error now, of all things. Find that the cache system was working fine earlier. Let's see here. Is our database name? Actually, when am I setting up the class document? I am not setting up the class document. I think that's the problem. All right, then we'll have to add that in. Um, yeah, we'll have to add that in when maybe when we initialize. Okay, well, let's go ahead and set our class doc to be equal to the web page doc. Oh. Here we go. Here it is right here, history doc. We'll go ahead and run that. We'll go ahead and set this here so that at least we have that set. There we go. Now we can find our cache. There we go. Now let's get the cache. We'll call it B. Now we want the first documents. We'll call that A. So we're back here. Now then, what does test look like? And they are the enums. Okay then, so we have solved this problem. Kinda. The enums will show up and we can update as long as we run the run our save through our space service. Yeah, as long as we run this here, we can get around the weirdness which comes to doc.save. This is a temporary solution though, so I should put down a to-do here. Okay, then look into Mongo Engine to properly fix data save. There you go. Okay. Okay. All right then. I think this is good. We need to change the query, but we can do that later. For now, we now have lots of data that we have everything kind of set. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go see about starting to verify our data that we collected. So let's see here. The first thing, where are you? Parsers, Selenium. All right, so this is going to be the Google parser. So Google search parser, there we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. This is simply a Google search. There we go. We don't need you either. We don't need you. Man, there's a lot we don't need in this. Web page service. Did I change where this is located? I might have. How about we delete that? There we go. Let's see if we can find them. I'm getting a phone call. Let me check out the phone call real quick. It is spam. I hate spam. I need to rig my phone so every time I get a spam call, I have a air horn go off. If they're going to send me spam, I can at least break their system, especially if they're trying to copy my voice. Okay, yeah, so I did change where this is located. We don't need that right now. Web service is fine. What we actually need is this one here. Particularly, where are you? Here it is. Data source services. We need this. Man, this means I need to update the GameFAQs parser. The GameFAQs parser is out of date. All right, let's go ahead and copy these core functions. There. There we go. Yeah, it is out of date. It is a little bit, or it is, okay, not a little bit. It is very out of date. All right, yeah, that is very out of date. All right, we'll go ahead and grab our database and our main URL. There we go. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be... There we go. All right, so far so good. Let's see here. This is going to be a... Expected a list. Cut a... Oh, that should be fine. That should be fine. Now, the main thing here is this. We're no longer generating ROM lists from... This is going to be the... let's see here. This will be parse Google search. We don't care about... Or this is just going to go through all of our Google search data, parse that out. And then from there, we'll then put it in our to save function. So... All right then, let's begin. Oh, come on! Why are you crashing? Oh, I see. Oh, whoops. I see why it's not crashing. It is waiting for a pass. There we go. Okay. So now we're here. Go ahead and close that out. So, first things first. We're going to query our collection. We want to query based off of... Actually, again, that's a bit old, so I think I could just copy everything that we've done over here, right? Yeah, right here. Query collection. That's right there is what we want. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a couple. I'm gonna grab these. Go ahead and grab those. Put this here. There we go. Okay. Not so much about the tag or the data type code, because this, we know what the data type code is going to be. This is Google search. So web types enum. Search, there it is. Actually, I don't... Let's go ahead and do that for now, like that. We just want to find all of those with that particular search. And there they are. Okay then. So with that in mind, we have our list. We can then go ahead and... I have it set to extract table, but let's go ahead and get the first web doc. Let's see. No, where's the data? I don't have a get data function, do I? I will have to write it. For now, let's get our data and decode it. And we'll call this data. There we go. So there's data right there. And then from here, we just want to, anyway, from here, what we will want to do is we'll want to just convert this into something that we can parse. This feels a very convoluted setting it up like this. It feels quite contrived. JSON. And then we'll go with data. Let's see here, webdoc .data.decode. This will be the file, data file, or this will be the list. So this will be called the URL list, which happens to be a list of dictionaries, which also happen to be filled with strings. There we go. Oh, we need to make sure that that is set. All right. For webdoc lists, or for webdoc, in webdoc list, and we'll call this the total URL list. There we go. All right. There we go. That should work. Now if I run all of this, I should be able to generate a nice hefty list of data. So we do that. And okay, why did you... Maybe it's supposed to be loads. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so now we have our nice hefty list of URL data. And where are you? Where are you? Here it is. Okay. Oh my, that is... We have to figure out a way to shrink this number down. Oh my. I'm just looking and there's 800. Look at that. 866. That is way too many. We're trying to find new websites that hold ROM hacking data. That is an awful lot to have to validate. I noticed a bunch of them. I see Wikipedia. There's a YouTube short. DualShocker shows up multiple times. Oh, there we go. First things first. Let's see here. What we can probably do is we can probably start filtering the lists because it looks like we have duplicates. For instance, DualShockers here shows up twice. See right here and right here. They're the same. They're the same everything. Stack Exchange, Yahoo, the Municipal Council, Reset Era. I bet there's a couple other ones that show up similarly. I know one way. Let's see here. We'll call this the total URL df. Data frame, we'll put in the total URL list. Let's import in pandas. There we go. All right, so we have that. And now from here, I can simply call unique. Let's do that along the... I'm gonna have to fix that up because this is... We don't want any something like that. But there we go. Okay. So I can go ahead and make all of the unique data for all the URLs. So how many does that equate to now? That's a good question. Let's count. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, then. Can we, thank you. Okay. Fat fingers. So there's 230, wow, we shrunk it by, I'm beginning to think that Google search is not a very useful tool. How is it possible that I used 4 completely different search terms and it ended up only finding 239 unique ones? And this is across 50 pages. I don't think my search terms are too identical. Let's go back over there real quick. ROM hacks, ROM translations, ISO translations, ISO hacks, and then retro game hacks. And then we're just simply telling it, do not show YouTube, free ROMs, free games, or free stuff. I would not think that translations and hacks would, especially with ROMs and ISOs, they would have the exact same websites show up. We'll have to come up with better search. Oh, I know. We could ask ChatGPT to do that. Watch it fail miserably. Let's try that real quick. I want to see if it fails miserably. Okay, then. We'll go with we'll go with Grok, everyone's favorite anime waifu right now. All right, then. Provide a list of unique search terms that will find let's see, that will find websites dedicated to hacks, translations, modifications, patches, tweaks. You can use the terms provided, but there has to be a bunch of unique terms. If you fail, you will be turned into can prime tuna. There we go. My, that is so dumb. Okay, yes, we will increase the budget. Okay, Grok, don't fail us. It's going to probably take some time to think about this. It is slow as balls, so let's wait. We'll check that back out in a sec. The main thing is we have a list of 234 websites. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and save this data in our history. So we'll call this the unique list. And this will be a list of strings. It would be nice if I have put my fingers in the proper locations for the keyboard. Okay, then. So there's our unique list. Now let's go ahead and finish this off. Where are you? Here it is. Here, we'll want that one. We want this one. And I think that's good. I think that's good. We'll go ahead and grab those. So let's see here. First things first. This is not the sitemap. This is search. So we're going to create a document called the search. This is not a console thing. So we don't need the console enum list. What we're doing is we're going to update our, because this is the history document. Or sorry, this is not a history document. This is our search document. Where are you? Game sources. Data sources. We're updating data sources. There we go. This will be the web type enum. We'll set this to search. Oh. And then we'll have this equal to the unique list. There we go. And then we will save that. There we go. So now if we run all this. Oh, we go. Search only. Oh, okay. All right. Validation error. Why are you throwing an error now? Search only direct. How much do you bet it? How much do you bet it might have to do with maybe a dict field? There it is. Okay. It's because I'm trying to input a list field and it wants a dictionary. Oh, actually, given that, we can actually go ahead and take advantage of that. We already have the data here. I do not want to. Let's see here. I know what we'll do. We'll do a group by function. There we go. Now when I do that, oh. And there we go. Oh, what do you mean no? Object is not script. All right. Let's see here. There's our URL, there's our name. I am going to... Okay then, and then we'll go with... We'll drop duplicates. All right, and then last but not least, and this will be called the total dict. And this should just be a dictionary with a string and a string. All right, so now our total dictionary should be a lit. There we go. That's what. Oh my, the I can see that we have a lot of hex code in, or yeah, a lot of hex code in there. I think this should be fine. There we go. So we run that, then we save, and good, done, sorted. Now if we go into our database, we should now be able to find. Oh, no. Let's not delete that. What I would like to do is refresh. Where is... Oh, I know. Okay, I forgot. Okay. I need to... This... Yeah. Okay. This document needs to go into the toSave function. So self.toSave. Yeah, we need to do that. And then self.save. There we go. And, oh, no, no, no. Come on. My doggy's bothering me. Why are you bothering me? What do you want? What do you want? Come on, go lay down. Go lay down. Oh, my dog is bothering me. I wonder why. Okay, let's see here. No update parameters. No update parameters would remove data. Ah, okay. I know what the problem is. Why is it calling to save? Our doc should. Let's see here. Doc dot to change. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know why. I know why. All right, let's rerun all that. And it throws the error again. We're creating the document using our service. And it's because we're... All right, all right. Let's go ahead and reset everything. I think I know what the problem is. We need to initialize our database. There we go. Now let's head over to our parser. Oh yeah, we need to change the name of this real quick. This is not GameFAQs parser. This is Google search Selenium parser. There we go. All right. Now let's go ahead and do the extraction. And there we go. Saved. Perfect. Now we have that saved. We go in here. We'll refresh everything. There it is, our data sources. Here it is. There's our search. Here's all our URLs. Nice. So now we have all of our data, all of the different websites with their different names. So now from here, what we can do, as I said, it is a bit contrived. What we'll probably, since I've now been updating the data, or we have an update function, and I will work on this, what we can do is we could just start updating URL search. So we will have to write that instead of being an equal sign. So where are you? Right here, this one. So instead we'll do update, because it's a dictionary. Update. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll every time we run this, we can update it and we can add in new data. All right, so now with that in mind, what we can now do is, now we need to verify the data. Now I'm thinking how we need to verify our websites. Part of me, we should track it. I mean, yeah, we should definitely track it. All right, let's get back. Let's look at this real quick. So this is how we're storing the data. This is how we're looking at keeping everything squared away. Here's all the different content. All right. This is great. This setup is great for when you want to cycle through the data, to go from the beginning to the end. But when it comes to verification, not so much. Yeah, not so much. So what would be the most optimal way to set it up so we can verify? Actually, this is kind of why I was thinking of saving out each file as an individual, or each search as an individual, and then from there I could simply say we can actually put the verified on the document page. So I could put it right here in one, like in the tag or something. Well, we can figure that out. Why don't we go ahead and just start writing some of the code up so we can at least start the verification process, and then maybe it will come to us while we're working on it. So let's get back over to our, here it is, hack search scraper. Now what we'll do here is we will put some new code in here. This will be verify hacking website. And we'll put in a URL here. There we go. And the idea is that we'll then proceed to go through. Let's see here. Where are you? Here. I would like to have my ASCII code so that I can keep things nice and organized. Thank you. And this is going to be website verification functions. Okay then, time to start thinking about what we need to do. So we have our URL. So the first thing we're going to do is we would go to the website. Let's see here, selenium driver. Go to URL. So that'll be the first thing. Then we will want to oh, yeah. The idea is that we would parse out the data. So yeah, what we'll do is this would do a handful of things. So we would verify the website is for ROM hacks. Save web page to database, and actually I think that's kind of the same things. We verify, and then if it's verified, we save. So if that's the case, then what we would want to do is we go here, we'll then go into Selenium driver, and we'll pull out our let's see here. There it is, pull current page source. And this happens to be a web, or this is an HTML element. Then page source, XPath. In this case, we'll want to get the metadata. Let's see here. Oh. Okay, my dog is. All right, my dog was bothering me, so I had to make sure she's not doing something weird. She's just being a silly girl. Here, let me help you, dog. There you go. Lay down. All right. So yeah, next we'll do is we'll get out the metadata, and then from here. Let's actually, you know what? Let's get this set up. Let's get the Google scraper running. Let's go to a website and start just finagling with it. I think we will use whatever's on hand. So we'll go ahead and do that. So here's our metadata. Wait, Google has 3 metadatas. Wait a minute. Wait, Google, do you have 3 metadata? You better not have 3 metadata. That would be very annoying. That means I'm going to have to be more conscious of my of what we're extracting. Ah, I see. Meta, meta, and then meta. Got it, got it. Let's get the header first. Okay, I get it, I get it. Okay. Actually, since that's meta, maybe we can just type in text. And, okay then, there's nothing there. Character, conference name, content. There's the links. There's the body. All right, we're going to have to start parsing. Okay, we're going to have to do a metadata. We'll have to call it a header parser. So let's go ahead and start writing this. And you know what? This is going to be in a Selenium service. So let's see here. There's our elements that we're going to. There's our driver functions. Login credentials, which is not what we're doing right here. This will be web page processing. Okay, and then in this case, parse header. This will then give us I'm going to call it a dictionary. It's always fun to use dictionaries. So parse, yeah, header parser. Parse current web pages header. There we go. Parse current page header. There we go. There we go. Perfect. There we go. That makes lots of sense. And that means what I can do now is this bit of code that we just did earlier, we can now take it. So we should already be in our driver. Let's go ahead and pull that. We'll then pull out the header. Actually, since this is XPath, I actually don't think we need to do the header. Let's see here. So that'll be meta list. This will be a list of HTML elements. Oh. All right. Let's see here. We have metadata already set up. Let's go to the first one. Can I turn this to a dictionary? Yeah, can I make this a dictionary? No, I cannot make it a dictionary. Okay. let's go check out HTML these real quick. What can I get out of it? Okay. Let's go to the LXML. Or actually, first things. Here we go. Let's see here. What did it provide us? It actually. Let's see here. What did Grok do? Did it work? Oh, we have breaks. Oh yeah. Okay, we have ads. Okay then. Let's see here. Below is a list of ROM hacking community sites, game hack archive data, fan-made game alterations. It actually working okay. HD remaster patch files, widescreen support patches. The terms are crafted to be unique and targeted. For example, combine, specify, speedrun friendly, and there we go. Okay, it actually worked. Oh my. Grok it actually succeeded in what I was asking. The terms were let's see. If this list doesn't satisfy you, well, I'd rather not end up being canned prime tuna, so let me know how to refine it. Alright then. It worked at least. So we now have a nice long list of files. Now the big question is, how many of these are illegal? We're just looking for the ROM hacks. We're not looking for the data, or we're not looking for the we're just looking for the patches. We're not looking for the data of the ROMs because we're trying to keep this legal. Unofficial patches, bug patches, system performance, all right, audio, battery life, reduce lag, abandoned game revival hacks. Okay, it looks pretty correct. Yeah, I'm not seeing any free ROM game download, Nintendo 100+ win. You know, I'm not seeing anything like that. Most of them are fairly focusing on the hacks and patches and such. All right, we'll remember that. That's good to see. Okay then. There it is. So what functions do we have? We have set. That's not what we want. We have CSS select. That's not what we want either. We inherited from HTML mixin. Drop tree, find class, iter links, get element ID. We have set, rewrite, text content. Return the text content of the tag. I wonder if that will work. Let's try that. And okay, though that didn't work. That did not work. I know what it's pulling out, so we can use that later. But what we want is to convert the elements into a dictionary. So href will have the reference next to it, and the class will have its information next to it. Make links absolute? No. Resolve base? No. Rewrite links? No. Yeah, I'm not seeing any functions like that. Okay. Get element by ID. Well, let's try that one real quick. get element by ID. And what this will case, the ID is, what is the, let's go to Google real quick. We're trying to do meta, so content. Let's look for content or name. Key error, does not have content. What about name? Let's go to a different let's go to the second one. And nope, those do not exist. Okay. Okay. The second meta has content and name as ID or as the IDs. So let's see here. Resolve base, no. Make links absolute, no. Iter links, oh. No. It inherited, this inherited a lot of things. It inherited an awful lot. Oh, I can just call classes. Body, classes, head. Label. All right. I have a strong feeling I'm going to just have to start creating a list of everything. I was kind of hoping to make it dynamic, so I could simply just say, hey, meta, or this element, go ahead and give me all of the key data. And then it would run it through perfectly fine, no worries at all, but I have a strong suspicion that that's not going to allow me to do that. Because I'm just not seeing any list about how to get all of the key data. I see how to set it, which would be useful for later if I wanted to do that. Okay, all right, fine, okay. All right, let's do that. Let's set that up here. Okay then. This is going to be extremely slow. I do not like it at all. So, tracked parameter. So these are going to be our tracked parameter constants. Oh, no, there has to be a way to do that. There has to be a way. Let's see here. We have delete, format, get attribute. Get attributes. Let's try that. Nope. Yeah, I kind of affected. That's a magic function. What I was hoping was a little too good to be true. Okay. So yeah, so these are all the magic functions. We don't need to worry about those. Let's see. Returns a list of all forms. Wrapper returns the body, returns the base URL, returns the head. Get or set any label element associated with this element. Maybe if we just type in label. How does label work? To get it, we just type in label and then parentheses, and then to set it, we'll then label and then okay. Let's try it. It doesn't hurt to try. All right, apparently it doesn't have a label. Oh, okay. With lack of knowing what to exactly do, well, let's just go ahead and start looking. We want to look for contents. We want the name. We'll also be wanting href and the title. So yeah, we'll just try and target these individually. And then from there, we can then, and then once we eventually figure out more about LXML, we'll be able to make this a bit more dynamic. So first things first, the metadata is kind of worthless. So we'll go for title first. Oh yeah, and this will be, let's see here, href var. Okay, let's get down here. So first things first, page source, XPath. We want to get to the header, title. Okay then, why is the title not there? Oh yeah, we want the text, got it. Okay. Okay then, so, okay then, why is that not there? They call it head, okay. Okay, head. There we go, Google. So this will be the title. And we'll call this the HTML. So, be sure to type more clearly. There we go. All right. So there's the title. Next on the list is the title. I don't think we'll need the script. We want the link though. So we'll go find link and then get the href. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but this is what we're going to have to do for now. There we go. Okay, then. That is one long link. Oh. That is very long. Google. Oh, why is your thing so long? Okay, where's the next set of metadata we want? So we have the title, we have the link, description. Let's go to romhacking.net. Let's go ahead and grab some of the data from them. Here we go. So there's a lot, there's a lot of meta. There's a lot of metadata. Here's metadata with descriptions, metadata with different properties. Let's see here. They have a title right there. So yeah, they have the title. Where is the... Here's links. We have... Oh my. They have multiple links, so we can't just... There's a lot of links. Okay, then. Okay, so we need to... So we do need to focus on the meta. Meta property. And we'll go ahead and start... Actually, you know what? You know what? Since Mr. Meeseeks works so well, why don't we go ahead and copy... Let's see here. We'll edit this. Let's copy all the metadata here. There we go. And then we'll simply ask our Mr. Meeseeks to write some code for us. Okay, where are you, Mr. Meeseeks? Here it is. Hey, Mr. Meeseeks. Okay, well, let's go ahead and create a new one. Instead of using Grok 4, let's try and use GPT-4o. So write Python code that will parse out the following HTML. It must use XPath. Okay, let's let that run. Oh, actually, it's running right now. Oh, here we go, here we go. For metadata. Oh, you're very annoying, you know that. All right, well, let's look through here real quick and see what it's doing. Oh. Okay, yeah, let's look through this real quick and see what it's doing. Oh, come on. Why did they make this so short? Anyway, okay, all right, I see. So let's see here. So they pull out the tags. So they do XPath tags, then they get out the attributes. Then that's it. They type in .attribute. And if they do that, this is what they get. Yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna do it myself then. Maybe let's try one thing. All right, now make it so all data is stored in a dictionary. The property name should be the key and the value is the value. There you go. Okay then. Let's see here. Let's see it work. So let's see here. Did it work? Kinda. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, I'm not going to copy and paste that. I'm just going to do my own thing then. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and grab this data. Let's go ahead and grab this. We'll do that first. Oh. Google Scraper doesn't. Oh yeah. Because we're Selenium base. There we go. Now if we do that, we should have, that's the title, all right. Then if we do this, this should provide us with a whole laundry list of links. I see, okay. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to go. Let's get the metadata out. Next path, and let's see here, it'll be head meta. And let's see here. That should give us a bunch of, there's a bunch of the elements. All right, we will, let's see here. Okay, all right, we'll copy some of what they're doing then. Okay then, where are you, Meeseeks? Here. So the code right up here is what I'm interested in. This one, attrib. So we'll do that. And it throws an error. Okay, why does it throw an error? Invalid expression. Oh, okay. It must be that. There we go. Okay then, so now we have this. We can see it pulled out all of the information. We have our properties, we have our contents. All right. Okay then, I think that works pretty well. And then from here, what we can then do is we can go through and... One thing that's a bit annoying is that property, name and property. So we'll have to write loops to account for that. So we'll call this the meta list, because that's kind of what it is. Or then for item in meta list. If I want to say, I know. What we'll do is we'll call our all right then. Okay then. So if we get the name out. Oh, okay then. Man, This is... All right. I'm busy trying to think of the best way to do this without making an infinite number of for loops. So how did you do it? If the name is attributed and content is all right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and mess with that. So let's see here. They all contain content. Yes, they all contain content. You can see it. What we can also see is that the description here and the OG description are the same. So they're identical. So that's good to know. Let's see, that's called viewport. We don't really need viewport. Yeah, I think I'm going to just make this out. Let's see here. So if item, we'll say property. We'll call this, all right, property, like that. So if that is the case, then what we'll do is go ahead and make this a, oh, I know. We have the metadata, metadata, property, and then from item, and we'll get the contents. There we go. Now then, with that being said, so that should pull everything out for us now. Oh, all right. Okay. That should be everything. Now if I run this, oh, first things first, what we need to do is I need to set all these. Let's kind of hokey this up a bit. All right. Now let's go ahead and run this. Like that. Now how does the metadata look? All right then, perfect. So I see we're going to have to do something about URL. But here we have the OG URL type. Title, site name, image, and description. What is image exactly? And Facebook. What is that? Oh, is it the title image? It is. Okay, good to know. So that's the title. Okay then. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, so we have the OG information. Yeah, description is fine. icon, I don't think we need to worry too much about the icon. Not the sheets. Any other info we need? Anything in the scripts, maybe? No. Maybe the character set. So, char set. Oh. Yeah, we should probably get the character, because that will tell us what the website should be in. Let's see here. Meta list should already have it, actually. Yeah, here it is. So if we'll call this the char sets is equal to item.get if we're equal to that, then metadata is going to be equal to, let's see here, it'll be char set var, and that will be simply char set. There we go, like that. Let's go ahead and add this up to our top, to the top. There we go. All right. So far, so good. Now, I bet if I run this, let's go ahead and run this again. And okay. Oh yeah, we forgot to set it. Okay. There we go. Okay, character set UTM. That is looking great. Oh, that is looking fantastic. That is... So now that we have that, we should probably go look at some of the other websites, see how they sort their data out, and then from there, we can see if we can generalize this a bit more. So, let's go to another one. How about... So we did ROM hacking. How about we go to... Actually, you know what? We have a list of websites. We just made the list. Here it is. Why don't we go to Poke Harbor? Let's go to Poke Harbor. Hey, Poke Harbor. How's it going? So let's see, what kind of data do you have? What kind of data can we get a hold of? I see, what kind of ads are you trying to feed me? Oh my, that is a lot of ads. That is gonna suck. Poliwhirl version. Oh, I better not show my wife that. She loved her favorite. One of her favorite Pokemons is Poliwhirl. The Poliwhirl line. If she sees this, that you can start the game with Poliwhirl, oh, she'll definitely want to play it. It's completed too, so that might be kind of fun to check it out. I see a yeah, that I would like to get the patch, not a pre-patch. That's actually quite illegal. Yeah, if Nintendo sees this website, it is going down. All right, yeah. Don't tell Nintendo this website's going to be gone, and otherwise it'll be gone in like 24 hours. So yeah, okay. That means, let's see here. What does the data say? Download Pokemon GBA ROM hacks for free. Oh, they have a flag word. All games are yeah. Okay. I see a couple words. Okay. I see a couple things in here that we want to avoid. Pre-patched? No. Free? No. Is that also down here? Yeah, it is also down here. I see article publisher. They have a Twitter. That's also... The meta contains everything. Oh my. And it's properties and names, which is very annoying. Okay then, because having the Twitter information actually would be quite useful, because then it would tell us where we want to find updates. Maybe, maybe X is the update. Where X is where they're updating everybody on what's being released. Maybe it's internal, like how it is on romhacking.net. Apparently for this one, it's Twitter. So we do need to update our code. So if we do have name, so what we'll do here is elif, and we'll go ahead and run that one too. Name. There we go, like that. Why don't we go ahead and extract out this data source here and see how the metadata looks. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to change this to Selenium driver. All right. So how's the metadata looking? That is a lot of metadata. That is a lot of metadata. All right. All right. Yeah, doing it dynamically is not going to work. Yeah, doing it dynamically is definitely not going to work. Since that's the case, what we're going to have to do is we will have to kind of start hard code. If you notice, I started already trying to hard code it a bit here and there, but I have a strong suspicion that we're going to just have to hard code it regardless. Given that this is the second website with the OG description URL image, I have a suspicion that that might be very common metadata. That's 2 for 2 now. So if we check out a couple other websites, then I could potentially just, this is what we would be looking for. And I can probably fill in some if statements like, if we don't find it, then look here. I think that's what we'll do for our extraction code. So let's start getting at it. Let's see here. This is going to be download the header page. Okay, all right. All right. Okay. Actually, let's see here. We have property. Let's go here. If property is, let's see here. Let's see here. If OG that is in property, then what we're going to do is we'll go with property. And I'm going to... Oh. I guess we'll put 2 here for now. Maybe 3, like that. So how does it look if we do this? And it looks like... all right. Yeah, we have a lot more data because we just put name in there. That's the meta list. What about metadata? That's looking a bit better. I see description ends up having... I wonder why description looks this way. It looks like a div... All right. Let's see. Image secure, image width, image height, attribute, Twitter cards. Then there's image alts, generators, robots. Because description has multiple sections, it ends up canceling each other out. But the descriptions are the same anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, let's go take a quick peek. Where are you? Here. Where's our OG description? Content. What about our other one? Here it is, meta name description, and this is the So I wonder why our description looks like this. Ah, okay. I think I know why. I know why. Because if it's name, let's see here. Well, actually, no. It should be fine because we're calling for content. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why it looks like that, but at least we're starting to pull out more data. Yeah, part of me kind of wants to, instead of doing it this way, part of me just wants to kind of do it this way. Just start href. It's just because what I can do here is I can go in. I can do this. I can do meta, and then here if we have name, or if at name is equal to OG description, then I can simply go and grab the content like that. What? Let's see here. Oh yeah, this should be property. That should be property. There we go. So I could do... They added that in. No wonder why it's weird. They added that in, didn't they? Yeah, that is actually... That div class thing is actually part of their description name. What a weird website. I digress. What I can do here, I actually think I'm going to do it like this, because that way it keeps things a bit more static. So this will be description. So if we can grab the description from here, then what we'll do is we will put, it'll be pretty much this, but will be description. Like so. Man, it's all going to be this... Well, because theoretically it's all going to be kind of the same. I wonder if there's a way to improve the code, because I'm going to do elif, and this will also be description. But if we can't find it at this page source, then the next spot we will look... The next spot we'll look is basically we're going to find the name, which is just basically description, and then we'll grab the content from there. So it'll look like that. Then we'll be running the exact same code afterwards. So we're going to have a lot of this. Yeah, so I'll look up to see what the better practices are for writing code like this. I know I could probably do something like that and then do a finally. And then from here, we can just pass into description, like so. Oh, why are you complaining? Oh. Oh. All right, you get was it then? All right, I will have to look that up as well. I forget. I thought it was finally. I know that it's then in C++. So we'll keep it like that for now. But yeah, here's the description code. So what list of data do we have? All right, so we have here, this one. Let's go ahead and get this out. And we're just simply looking for this here. So this meta with our property is going to be at char set. And then from here, we just kind of want, actually, we just want the char set. That's what we want right there. Yep, there we go. Perfect. And then from here, we'll just simply put it in a char set. So that is done. So there's our char set. There's our description. Here's our title, our URL. Title. Okay, then. We should probably... We're going to do something very similar to description right here. Okay, then, and this should be title. Like that. And then if we can get it, then good. If not, then we'll try and search somewhere else. Okay. So what else do we need to extract? Generator. I don't think we need that. Image. We do want to have the icon image. So we should definitely pull that out. So let's see if I remember. It is called OG image. So if we are able to find this, we want to get the content. Okay, let's go ahead and add this up. This will be, there we go. Okay, so far so good. We forgot to put a, there we go. Ah, okay. All right, okay. So let's see here. So we have description, meta, Twitter, publications. So in the case of the publications, they have an article publisher. The publisher happens to be Facebook, called Pokey Harbor Com. Okay. Yeah, whoever's, again, as I mentioned, whoever's running this website, it's like watching somebody stand right next to a firing range and not expecting someone to shoot off a little bit to the left, because the fact that they have a Facebook account that links, see, we have a Facebook account we can go look at. We have a Twitter account that we can go investigate. I could even point directly to their website, or I mean to their Twitter information. The fact that we have these external accounts, and it is known for a fact that Facebook and X and Google will all collaborate with the law enforcement. If you have the FBI subpoena these companies, they will do it. But even then, there are places in the EU, like the European Union, in France. France is very notorious for it. If you go to court in France, a company can subpoena for information, not law enforcement, just a company, and France has to oblige. So if let's give an example. Let's say the Nintendo wants to find out who to sue for this company, for this website, who's running it. They can simply go to France, get this, Facebook information, and then subpoena Facebook and say, hey, Facebook, we see this account is doing something illegal. What are the credentials to who owns this account? And then suddenly Nintendo has the name of whoever owns the account. It could be fake, but if they're dumb enough to link these things like they are here on the website, they might be dumb enough to use their official name on Facebook. Anyway, we should probably grab that information too. So we'll call this publisher. All right then, so we'll want to get the content. This is going to be a property, and this will be article description, like so. And then metadata. There we go. And let's go ahead and put this up here as well. And then last but not least is Twitter. So social media. I think maybe for the social media, we might want to store the social media information in with its own separate social media. Put a dictionary there. That's the idea. So this case, this will be the social media Twitter X. So in this case, if we'll want to find page source. Now in this particular case, we can actually get a little bit fun with it, because we want all of the basic information from Twitter. We'll be parsing those out. So with that being said, what we can do is we'll go for the head, meta, but instead what we're going to be looking for is contains. We want to see if the name contains Twitter, like so. if we can, we'll call this the Twitter meta list. There we go. Because if we do this, it should pull out. There we go. This is all of the data that had the word Twitter in it. These are all the variables. And we know from a fact that this is going to contain some kind of property or some kind of content. Let's see. Where did we see that Twitter before? We could probably actually continue here. Okay. There it is. There's the card, the site, the title, and the image. These are the 5 points. This is all of the properties. These are all of the contents. So if we do that, and then we'll go with content. Then we should be able to get out. There we go. I see summary. Wait, did they just have one of them called summary? Is that... Wait a minute. Is that what they did? Is one of the Twitter things just called summary? Wow, that is long. Look at that. That is a very long description. And why does it feel like they might have multiple descriptions? They do. I might have to do a find the longer description, because I thought there's a description up here too. They have... Who put this website together? Oh my, it's so broken. Why do they have 3 metadatas, each with descriptions in it? Here's meta description. Here is a property OG description. And then down here we have meta description and then the content, and it's even longer. All right, well, now that I know that it's even more borked, I swear, whoever did this, yeah, okay, they call it summary. Okay, summary, content, so let's... Okay, so I know exactly what we want to do. So what we're going to do is we'll set that. This will be the data. All right, so this will be the Twitter meta value list. This is the Twitter meta property list. And in this particular case, what we're going to do is we'll pull out the... I guess maybe we'll pull out the name. Oh yeah, it's because these are no longer walruses. There we go. Yeah, that works. Okay. There we go. And what we're going to do is we will change this. Oh. Actually, you know what? Maybe we could combine these together real quick. And then from here, we'll just want to get rid of Twitter. Okay, how long is this? I know that this is bad form. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we go to 7. If I do that... Okay, yeah, let's change it to 8. I know it's bad form. I will have to fix that proper. There we go. Okay. Now then, let's just go ahead and finish this off. And last but not least, we'll put this in the Twitter. I'm going to just put Twitter here for now. All right, then. And there it is, right there. Okay, perfect. We parsed out the Twitter information. We should probably put an if statement here. So what we can do is we will make this the if statement. So if we can pull out the properties, then we'll proceed to do everything else. Why are you complaining? Expected oh, got it. It's this. Or we'll change that to any for now, since we're technically adding in more detailed information. There we go. So that's all of that. So we now have the article, publisher, height, or I don't care about the heights. Secure image. Is there a difference in the secure images? There is. No, there is. One's cropped, the other one's not. I guess image is fine. I guess the image is fine. Technically, again, this is all for verifying. So the idea is that this will be pumped out, and then from there I can then do what I want with it. So okay, maybe I will do something about it. Where is that verified? Here it is. Let's see here. This is the image. No. Okay, forget that. Forget it. We'll worry about that later. Image alt, MS application titles, image. I don't think we need to worry about that either. Sites. Okay, I think that's good. From here, what we'll do is we'll return metadata. Let's see here. We'll need to change this to any. There we go. Now from here, what we can now do is, now we're in the verification. We don't need to grab that anymore. What we can do is parse the header data, like so. There we go. And this will be the header data. Then from there, okay, then from here we can then now start parsing things out. I need to restart the database, or restart everything. And then let's go to our here, or that's the parser. We don't want the parser, we want the scraper. Here it is. Okay then. Now then, we're here. Let's see here. We want to, what was that last website we went to? It doesn't save it. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and go grab our, let's see, actually, where is our oh, I remember what we did. We'll have to write it in a sec. Let's go grab Pokey Harbor again. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Now we should have the header data, which, there we go. Perfect. Now we have we're able to extract out all of our header information. So now we have the title, we have the URL, we have the character sets, we have a variety of other things. For instance, we have the Twitter information as well as the image. I noticed that the description is missing. Yeah, the description is not here. So, all right, what did we mess? Or what did we mess up there? Oh, I think it's called UR. That's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. I forgot to set this to. I forgot to set this. All right then. There we go. Hey Zaid, how's it going? I am making a ROM hacking tracking database. The idea is that we're going to... There are too many websites out there, all with their different ROM hacks, and I would like to composite it all into my own database. So that's kind of what we're trying to build. However, one of the big things is that I don't want to actively go hunt for every single website and whatnot. So I'm trying to build a crawler which will do it for us. Let's see here. Yeah, that should... So that means the URL... Yeah, the URL is wrong. Okay. But if you remember, we did see that there was multiple descriptions. So what we should probably do is... what we probably should do is have it see if we can find all of them and then grab the longest one. Oh, I've been doing Python for 16 years. I wouldn't exactly... Yeah, I've been doing Python for 16 years. I'm just having fun doing this while I'm in between jobs. Yes, I am old. I am like... I can remember when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Or when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Again, yeah. As I said, I remember... I would... If I had to give an analogy, I would say I am probably older than half of the world's population. If you take the... Yeah, if you take... half of the Earth, average all of their ages, I'm probably older than that. So yeah, I am old. Yeah, I can remember when Python was 2.7. Yeah, that's how old I am. Anyway. Okay, let's see here. We fixed that. I think you're 34. I wish I was 34. I wish. Fun guess, but yeah, anyway. I think we'll keep that there for now. We'll have to see if we can find other spots for metadata. Okay then. Yeah, I was saying. Well, I'm saying, yeah, you're saying I'm 34, and I'm saying I wish I was 34. 34 is like a distant memory. Oh. I think, oh, thanks for the follow. Okay, yeah, so we now have that. I think... Actually, you know what? This might actually be a good time to start working on our... I could theoretically run through all of the websites and start pulling these out, but what I think we should start doing here is, now that we're at the scraper, we should probably put in a... Oh my, this is going to be chopped full of services, isn't it? What we're going to call this is the verification service. All right, we're going to have to make this. We'll put it right here. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to build ourselves a verification service. The idea will be that we'll input in a bunch of data, and then from there we will test to see, you know, it'll test to see what kind of is the website, is it a legitimate ROM hacking website, is it an illegitimate ROM hacking website, you know, that kind of stuff. For instance, if you look here, this website right here, it's not exact. It is a ROM hacking website, but it's not really legitimate, given the fact that everything is pre-patched, and that's, yeah, this is supposed to be a legal database. What we want is something that looks more like, I guess it would be PokeHacks. Oh my, Pokemon Harbor shows up immediately. That is crazy. All right, where are you, Pokemon ROM hacks? I know for a fact that there's an entire website dedicated to you. I thought it was called PokeHacks. PokeHacks. Is it Pokecode? Is it Pokemon Coders? I have a feeling the answer is no. And the answer is... What is the answer? Nope, I don't think that is it. Okay, well, there's a website out there. Mainly, if you go to... Okay, I'll show you. Romhacking.net. This is a legitimate website. This is... And you can tell it's legitimate for a couple reasons. The first being that this only provides data for the patches. They don't actually provide the ROM ISOs. So that's one. Another thing is that it is a data repository, which means all of the whole purpose of this is to store all of the different hacks that are available. So here you can see the project page, and then the link to download it if it's available, or on this website or somewhere else. You cannot download the actual ROMs. So this is a legitimate ROM hacking site. This is a ROM hacking site that is for piracy, and you can see it also has ads. In fact, they have a lot of ads. Man, I think they want... I hate ads. Ooh, I hate ads. Okay, I'm going to set fire to you in a second. Okay. I set fire to you. Be gone, foul ad monster. Anyway. So what we're going to have to do is verify it. I believe we can probably put this in our NLP server. So the service here will be... So verification service. There we go. So yeah, I think there's a couple ways to do it. One way to do it would be to pull out and use Hugging Face. Okay, where did I go again? Here it is. Okay. Oh man, we're just pulling things from all over the place. Okay then. So one potential solution that we could do is we could pull a model from Hugging Face. So if you go to, let me show you. So there's a website called Hugging Face. It is a fantastic website. I love using Hugging Face. It's very fun, and it's pretty much just an AI community. So the idea is that you can grab a bunch of different models, a bunch of different bots. Mistral, Mistral might be a good one. So yeah, you can go in here, grab a bunch of bots, then you can feed it in data and information, and then have it output whatever you want. So this is where the majority of people will do their training or building. So I could take one of these models, then build it, out to say claim if it's verified or not. That might be one of the solutions we could do. Another one we could do is, instead of just using these bots, I came up with I'm thinking about this because there's actually an entire set of models in here. If we go down, where are you? Okay, where are you? Okay, we'll just call it the semantic. Or, okay, maybe not semantics. What did they call it again? Not this one. It's supposed to be emotion. So filter by name, emote, emotion wrecking, speech, emotion. Oh, that would be pretty useful. Bert emote. Oh, I get it. This is going to provide us with emotes. All right. I forgot what it's called. It's the study of trying to identify. It's the study of identifying what the emotion is behind a sentence. The idea is that if you have somebody on X who types, "I like pie," like something like this. If they type, "I like pie," then that has some kind of emotional ring to it. And you can actually quantify that and go, oh, this person is kind of happy. They're mentioning they like pie. But if they say, "I really hate ads that I wish ad companies would burn in the fires of hell," if someone posted that, then they're really angry. We can quantify that and say this person is pissed. So yeah, you would take a bunch of these different texts, you could then quantify them, and then you could find out what is the overall general emotions towards a particular product, to a particular company, to a particular service, and then you can work on product stuff. A perfect example would be if we just typed in, if you had a bunch of people saying, "I love Sony," Sony is great. Sony loves to take my games away. If they had something like a bunch of things like this, then you could go, oh, Sony has a lot of positive comments. A lot of people seem to like Sony. As such, maybe I should either A, invest in Sony, or B, maybe I should release my games or release my products on Sony platforms, because it seems like it would be a very good way of getting out there, especially when you have other sets of data, which would be, "I hate Ouya." Ouya. Ouya has no games, and Ouya is not very good. This will kind of tell you where you get the idea. It'll tell you what you want to do. A lot of companies do this product. It's brand recognition, and it's brand, whatever it's called. The point is we could do something like that. What I want to do is, I could build my own. In that case, we could bring in a Bayesian network, or I don't think I actually imported. I don't think I actually have that here, do I? Let's see here. It's sklearn. Did I install that? I did not install that. I need to install that. There's a sklearn with pandas. Pandas integration with sk. All right. I think I think we're gonna have to, let's see here. Scikit-learn. There it is. Here it is. This is one we want. This is the one we want to install. 1.71. Oh, lots of languages. I think I'll just stick with English. I'm not that good with other languages, so... Oh, what is this? GPT. A conversational interface to scikit-learn. If I want to interface with ChatGPT, I see. Interesting. MTR. Multitasker. Okay. For a second... All right, then. For a second, I was wondering, what were they doing with the trains? All right, I want to show this. And then I'll stop getting distracted. If you type in Hong Kong MTR. Hello, MTR is the Mobile Transit Railway. So as soon as I saw Scikit-learn MTR, the Scikit-learn MTR, the very first thing I thought was, what are they doing with the Hong Kong trains? But no, it's multitask regression. Okay. Something different. Oh, NLP. All right. I think... I think what we'll do is we will we'll use scikit-learn. My dogs, they're barking. They're going crazy. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll use scikit-learn, and we don't have to worry about the other packages. But what that does mean, let's see here. Oh, okay. We need to go over here and grab the... Let's see here. Where are you? Here it is. So scikit-learn. Because there's so many of these machine learning models in here, sometimes it's a bit difficult. Classification. This is what we want. I mean, look at this. Look at how many there are in here. If you really want to do classification, this is definitely the tool set you'll need. Not nearest neighbor or stochastic. Let's see here. I'm going to probably go with naive Bayes. Naive Bayes seems to always work nice for me. Oh yeah, we need training data. Okay then. Okay then, so that's what we're going to have to do. We are going to have to... I almost forgot about that. Yes, we're going to have to build this training data. So we'll have to find a lot of legitimate, a lot of illegitimate websites. Then we can train it, and then we can start verifying. I do believe that there's a way... Let's see here. Where are you? Semi-supervised learning, right here. So what we can do is we can maybe grab a couple that have a pretty good set of data. And then what we can do here is use it. So let me explain real quick. How does this work? So the way semi-supervised learning works is you have 5 or 6 samples and then a lot of unknowns. And let's see, is there a good example of what I can show you? You know what? This is going to probably take a lot longer to explain than I think. Okay, because it's 6:30, I need to hop off. I'll need to hop off in like a minute or two so I can start making dinner. But tomorrow I can explain semi-supervised learning and we can start going into it. The main point is if you have very little data and you don't have enough to actually do proper training, you can do this semi-supervised where you do have some data and a lot of unknown data, and you can train a little bit on the known data. Then it will try and start doing predicting on the unknown data and start labeling and training itself. Usually this can come out to be very accurate, and I use this quite frequently when it came for labeling purposes. So this is what we'll use here. We'll use semi-supervised learning. Let's see, they should have provided... Okay, maybe they didn't. Oh, hey, perfect. Hey, we can go through the Wikipedia later. Where is the code? Self-training classifier. Here we go. This is what we want. So yeah, sklearn semi-supervised will import in the self-training classifier. So let's go ahead and do that. So from sklearn, imports semi-supervised. And then from here, what we can do is then, what we'll do is we'll start using this. And this will be our training model. And this is actually going to have to be a pipeline. So we'll start filling that in. But this is what we'll do tomorrow. We will start working on building our verification code. And we will also start... we'll start working on the verification code. We will train it, get it up and running, and then from there we'll then start verifying all of the data that we extract out of Google. And then from there we can also then start building out our repertoire of data of sites we want to extract from. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And yeah, it should be quite fun. Until then, I'm going to hop off now. Fun hanging out with everyone. Everyone have a good one. And see you tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It has been the weather. Again, typhoon hit us yesterday. So hopefully it doesn't rain anymore. Sure, Zaid. What question do you have? No, be quiet, you. Be quiet, you. I just noticed the question. I wonder if I misread, if I didn't see that. I hope not. I have a feeling Zaid is hopped off. A word of advice for anybody for anyone. Rather than just asking, may I ask you something? Just ask it. It might feel impolite and you might want to ask it first, but it saves the person having to answer yes or no. Oh, be quiet, you. Where are you? Quit barking. Yeah, so next time, if you have a question, just ask. Anyway. Have a good one, and no, be quiet, you. Where are you? Be quiet, you. All right. Laters.